Hello and welcome to episode 38 of Pacific Horseplayers right here on the HHH Racing Podcast. I'm your host, Noah Meagher, joined by Jackson Muniz, who's actually in a different location today. We finally got him out of the Honda, and he's in a little studio of his own. So good to have him here. Ryan Anderson will be joining us just in a few minutes. I know he got caught up in some stuff at Delmar. He's working there, obviously, for the summer, so got caught up with some of that stuff, but he's going to be joining us here shortly as we talk about the Delmar Late Pick 5 for Saturday, July 26th. Of course, you're listening to us on Thursday nights. Of course, normally we have our shows on Tuesday nights, but because of the schedule and how Delmar decides to release their cards, we had to move our show from Tuesday night to tonight because we would not have Saturday's cards and we wouldn't be able to look at that stuff and give you guys our opinions and good information and analysis as well. So had to do that, so we're going to be doing that for an extended period of time, hopefully just until the end of the Delmar meet, and then we can kind of get back to what we've been doing in the past. Before we get into the show, of course, we got to go through our peripherals. You can listen to us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and Anchor. And one thing to mention about that in terms of listening and watching platforms, we are no longer on X. So we have turned our attention to YouTube. We will not be showing any of our live videos, of course, on X. That was announced at least a couple of days ago, if I have that correct. But again, we've gotten great viewership over the last couple of weeks and then basically throughout the year. So a lot of good stuff that's going to be coming for you guys. So if you want to see that, just hop over to YouTube. Got to click 3 or 4 more buttons. It's really, really simple. And go ahead and do that. And while you're over here, click that like button, subscribe button, notification bell, all that good stuff. We've got our regular Power Picks tip sheet that is released on Saturdays. Get two cards full track, or sorry, 2 cards, 2 tracks per card that we release on Saturday. 209 all-time ROI, 870 total picks. I think it's maybe even more than that. We've been doing that for over 4 years now with the success that we've had on this very podcast. And then you can learn more about us at our website right down there, HHH Racing Podcast.com. I got to say, Jackson, the Delmar Power Picks have been, pretty successful. I'm going to hand the reins over to you here in a little bit, but maybe you give us a little recap of what we saw last weekend with a lot of good stakes races and a lot of good winners.
Yeah, Power Picks have been okay. I don't really know who writes them every day, but I know who wrote the one on opening day. Had a winner on Friday. I think he paid like $20 or something. So good start to the meet. And yeah, it was good. Good cards all 3 days opening weekend. And you and I kind of disagreed about the opening day bias. There was 100% a bias. I don't know what you're talking about. The dirt was very outside favoring. So go back, and when those horses run back later in the meet, make sure you go back and look at who was running on the inside, who was looking on the inside, on the outside, get some good trips out of that. But I thought after that, Saturday and Sunday were pretty fair on both the dirt and the turf. I thought, good solid racing, nothing really to complain about, and big fields. And it looks like this weekend's going to be much the same. So looking forward to it. And a couple big names coming up on Saturday. Gonna be fun.
Yeah, some very big names. And I didn't pay too much attention today. I was kind of working and listening or watching some of the races today. It seemed like it was pretty fair. I know they had the rails out at 30 feet for the first time in the meet. And then the first race winner came from like 5 lengths off in a turf sprint. So I think that just kind of goes to show you that it's been pretty fair all meet. So wouldn't expect to be there to be some kind of bias on Saturday. And hopefully there's not, because we want to see these horses at their best. Before we get into the pick 5, let's see who is in the live chat. Of course, Katie is here. She is ready. She saw Ryan on the Delmar. That's a simulcast show with Kurt Hoover before the races today, I believe. I don't know. He was texting us and saying that he was doing well. So hopefully maybe he'll come on here and give us some of that little recap. Howard's here, of course, excited to hear some opinions. This is an awesome yet difficult sequence. Yes, it is. Tom Espinosa from NorCal. He says, here for the nightcap show. And then our good buddy Terry Frank says, hi, all. We got some more people coming into the live chat, of course. If you are new to YouTube, because we have kind of primarily moved over there, we've got the live chat feature. So if you've got any questions, comments, concerns of that nature, you can go ahead and throw those in there. But Jackson, let's go ahead and get into this late pick 5. I know we're excited to talk about it, so I'll go ahead and get our picks up on the screen real quick, and let me get that. There we go. Race 7 starts a late pick 5 on Saturday, 5:03 local. It's maiden special weight going 1 mile on the turf. The rails are at 18 feet on Saturday, and we've got straight 2-year-old fillies for this group of runners. We've got a field of 10, and the benefit of moving these shows to Thursdays is that we get the post positions with the numbers in the program, and we get the morning lines. So I'm sure during our course of talking about these races throughout the meet, we're going to have some of our bones to pick with morning lines. But either way, morning line's favorite in this race is the 6, Got the Ring at 5-2 for Mike Smith and Peter Miller. And then we've got a second choice of the 7, City Lady at 3-1. And then we've got the 8 at 6-1 and 3 other rivals sitting at 8-1 on the morning line. Let me get our picks up on the screen right now. There are picks on the screen. I'm going 4, 6, 8. Jackson's going 2, 6, 5, and Ryan is going 5, 6, 4. Let me bring us on the screen real quick because if you were tuning into the show to hear some stuff from our good buddy Mike Pribozie from In the Money Media, unfortunately he could not join us tonight. Got caught up with doing some work. I actually just learned from Jackson right before the show that he's actually a nurse. So obviously a job that when things get busy, they certainly get busy, and hopefully we'll try to get him on the airwaves soon.
And apparently Ryan's busy too, partying at Delmar, because
yeah,
they're raging 2 hours after the last post on a Thursday. So he'll be here at some point.
Yeah, but Jackson and I are here to give you all the winners you need. So we're going to go ahead and do that. I'm going to go ahead and bring up the PPs, and I'm going to let you talk first, Jackson. You've got the 2, and that is Kazazi, my boy Ayuso, and Jay Neff. And he's one of the rivals sitting at 8-1 on the line.
Yeah, well, I feel like we should start this race with the favorite because I do think she'll be pretty tough in here. With these 2 other races going 2 turns on the grass, I mean, there's just so many unknowns out here, especially in California when, the 2-year-olds are not allowed to work on the grass, which is different from out in Florida, out in New York. So we don't really have any grass workouts. We can only watch workouts, what they've done on the dirt. Obviously, these are all turf horses because they're entered here, so they think they're going to be best on the turf. But we don't know how well they've been working on the turf. It's a bit of a guess. Go with the pedigree. Go with what we hope to see. And then obviously the 6 has the race on the grass, and that was a pretty live race she comes out of. That was also against another McCarthy horse who was pretty good. I can't remember what her name was. But Velvet Dream came out of there, ran well. Cara Rose came back and ran well last week too. And this horse is obviously very quick. Speed is good in 2-year-old races. She'll be in front, and she has the experience edge, which is huge in these 2-year-old races at this time of year too. So obviously a lot of things to like about her. She also looked really good in the morning. The one workout I saw where she worked in company at Delmar the other day and looked really, really good. So she's going to be tough in here. She's very, very obvious, though. She's 5-2. I could see her going a lot lower than that. It just seems like there's a lot of signs pointing toward. There's a lot less unknowns about her, whereas the rest of the field, there's a lot of questions you need to answer.
And it just kind of seems like it could be the 6 or it could be just about anybody. I'm sure you would probably agree with that. I wanted to bring up this replay because this is something you don't see often. The 6 in this race, Got the Ring, is the 2 in this race. She ends up getting the lead. And right about right past the sign here, right about now, she actually jumps the tracks, and you see it in the DRF comments. And then when you go and watch the race, you're like, oh, that's pretty significant. But she ends up losing the lead and ended up running 4th in that race. But just in general, Jackson, you hit the nail on the head. That was a pretty good race that she's coming out of. It seems like she should be able to handle the 2 turns no problem, and she's been working well, like you said. So my approach basically was, it's either the 6 or could be just about anybody. We'll go back to you because you've got the 2 who you have got on top. Another runner that's run before, this time on the dirt.
Yeah, another runner. I always give the edge to the horses with experience in the non-Baffert 2-year-old races. I just think it matters a lot. It matters quite a bit. And this horse actually ran okay on debut. I know it was on the 5-horse field, but kind of just ran around the track, ran in place. Number came back pretty strong, actually, for this time of year. And she finished behind a couple Baffert horses, galloped out okay. I thought it was, perfectly respectable debut. Now she's going to stretch out. I think she's going to appreciate more ground. Her most recent workout was actually really impressive. She just did it totally wrapped up. It wasn't asked at all. Obviously, it came on the dirt. Turf is a massive question mark. It's not like she has a ton of turf pedigree either. But I do think she wants to ride a ground. I do think she has a good post. She's speedy enough to get some position in here. I think there's some things to like. And she's not going to get bad in here. I mean, these connections just don't take a lot of money very often. And I think there's enough things to like where I want to take a little shot with her. So she's going to be 8-1-ish, and we'll see what happens. We'll see if she can handle the rest. That's the
No,
big
I like
question.
it. I like it, and I think kind of her style when you've got an inside post and you've kind of got that tactical speed that she's kind of shown, and she should go in 2 turns at least you would think. I feel like that's always a big advantage. You can just kind of sit the pocket, save ground, especially when the rails aren't necessarily all the way down. I know I said earlier they're 18 feet, so
Yeah.
I think that could certainly be an advantage, and hopefully she's good enough to get the job done. I ended up going with a little bit of a flyer. I went with the 4 Mama Glows. Kyle Frey and our good buddy Doug O'Neill. It sounds like from what we've got from Shane, they're going to try to do this with some of their other 2-year-olds where they've run them at Indy, they run them at Ellis, they run them at Churchill, and they try to bring them over for the ship and win program. Now, this horse only got a 16 buyer on debut, but I'm not paying too much attention to that because number one, she got bet pretty good, and number two, they just didn't really try. So I'm not super worried by the fact that she didn't really run all that much first time out. I'm just more appreciative that they got the run under her belt. So they bring her over second time. You can see Doug is fine with second timers. Obviously, she went long first, so it seems like she's going to have no problem going long. Second time out, Nyquist filly out of Malibu Moon Mare. So, distance should be fine. So I'm going with a little bit of a flyer, and this is the first leg, obviously. So you'll be able to see the board. You've got her. Oh, no, sorry. Ryan's got her in second, and Ryan's actually got the 5 Olivia on top, who...
Yeah. And this isn't a new move for O'Neill. They've done that for years where they give them a race out in Indy or in Kentucky, and they don't show up at all, and they run them to Delmar. They run them at Delmar, and they perform like they're supposed to, and they're just totally doing it to get a race into them. Mm-hmm. And also interesting, the ownership group on that 4-horse. Looks like Ryan and Shane bought a horse together and didn't invite us. That's kind of crazy.
I was thinking the same thing. I don't know what that's about.
Mm-hmm. Ryan or O'Neill? We have to have a discussion with those two.
Well, you think if it was actually going to be Ryan or Shane, right? Or maybe, Anderson or O'Neill? Maybe they just had a little...
Ryan likes things a certain way. So maybe he just wants his first name out there.
Certainly he doesn't like to join us because it's we're 13 minutes in and he hasn't been on the show yet. And he doesn't quite get a chance to talk about his top pick, the 5 Olivia. I know our good buddy Matt Miller would be betting this horse hand over fist, but you've got those horses in the mix as well.
Yeah, I know this is one of those. I always talk about the DRF article because it's been so good to me over the years, where they released the meet preview with 2-year-olds. This was one of the only 2 horses I think Hansen mentioned, and he said right away, grass filly, grass filly, grass filly. She'll be ready early to meet. So that right there kind of just caught my eye. She's entered in the spot, working just okay, I think, on the dirt, but obviously she was really straightforward about this. It's a grass horse, so I don't want to put too much stock into that. And just watching the other unraced horses work in the mornings, I just wasn't really wowed by anything I saw by the unraced horses. So give me her at 12-1. This barn can obviously win on debut. I would expect her to be a little quick coming from the Ryan Hansen barn too. So I don't hate this pick at all. She should be competitive, and I think the board will tell a lot about this filly too.
And it kind of always seems like Ryan Hansen is, he kind of targets more of the Cowbred division when it comes to these 2-year-old fillies, but it seems like he's got some open company fillies that maybe could run a little bit, and he wouldn't be featured in that article that you're referring to if he didn't. So yeah. I think it's going to be only a matter of time before we see some fillies from the Hansen barn do well and run up to the level that maybe some are anticipating. The last horse we'll touch on is the 8 Soaring Angel, 6-1 on the line. This is Kuyathi LLC, and if you're not familiar with the dam Kuyathi, she is the mother of Johannes Sea Dancer, Sea Runner we saw last weekend. Sea Dancer is a horse for the Brittany Russell barn, so obviously a half to the mighty Johannes. And this was another one, Jackson, where I saw some of her works and they weren't really all that inspiring, but it is on the dirt, and obviously she's very grass meant. So at least on the bottom side with the Kuyathi, the Knicks goes primarily dirt from what we've seen, but it hasn't been too much. So I'm not going to hold that against her, but I will hold against her the fact that Yaktin's actually not very good debuting turfers going a route of ground, which I don't have the exact stat, but I did look it up and it wasn't very good. So that was just a minor concern for me. So going 4-6-8. So we'll go ahead and move on. Let me get that off the screen. I'm going 4-6-8. Jackson's going 2-6-5, and a highly anticipated Ryan, hopefully to join it, is going 5-4-6. Next race that we're going to be talking about is the San Diego. It is a grade 2, and let me go ahead and get that up on the screen here right now. Give me 1 second. I've got way too many tabs open. San Diego, grade 2, 533 local is a stake. $300,000 is the purse. And we're going 1 mile and a 16th on the main track. Big name in here, of course, is Nisos. John Lees has him at 3 to 5 on the morning line. I actually think it's John Lees. I don't know why I said Lees. John Lees, 3 to 5 on the morning line. Pratt is in town to ride. And obviously Bob Baffert, the conditioner. Second choice goes to the 4 Express Train with Mike Smith and John Sheriffs. And then the third choice, the 5 Hall of Fame, who went from the Asmussen to the McCarthy barn. And Kimura rides there. Let's get our picks up on the screen right now. There are the picks for the 3 of us. I'm going 2-5-1. Jackson is going 2-1-5. And Ryan is going 2-5-7. And you know what? That is perfect timing because, ladies and gentlemen, look who has just joined us from the Delmar Thoroughbred Club. It is Ryan Anderson. Ryan, what's going on?
What's going on, man? Sorry, running a little late. There was a tote board issue, so it's helping sort some things out. Staying busy out here. How's the show going so far?
Look at you. You got your own office at Delmar and everything.
That's right. Got my own desk set up here. I got my own portable AC unit. Oh, we're chilling in here, literally.
You got a Delmar margarita?
I got this thing set to 60 degrees. A couple shots of tequila in me, but no Del Margarita because they closed down.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, happy National Tequila Day. I made sure to celebrate once we ended racing.
Damn right.
Hey, was that at Del Mar that they were giving the Casamigos samples, or was that at Saratoga?
That must have been Saratoga because no one made me aware of this.
Yeah.
No, otherwise you would have been all over it.
Absolutely.
That's a drink.
Once I'm off the clock. The clock.
Yeah, of course. Ryan, obviously you got to start the conversation with Nisos. And because you haven't talked, we're going to let you talk about the chop.
Hey,
I think that's
look at that.
I think that's perfect fashion. So
Nisos. Right. Yo, Ryan texted us today after the 7th race at Del Mar. Like, I hammered that horse. I hammered it. I had it. The horse was like 2 to 5 and won the race. He was so excited.
That was fun.
Jackson's talking about how this is the worst 1 to 5 shot he's ever seen. So I had to let him know it was the right 2 to 5 shot to bet on.
Uh-huh.
And speaking of the right chalk to bet on, Nisos not losing this weekend. I mean, this horse is finally stringing some races together. I don't know that there's a whole lot more that needs to be said. I think, the best is yet to be seen with this colt. 4 years old, just keeps improving. So I'm looking forward to seeing what he can do. Obviously, Flavien Prat is leaving all of his mounts at Saratoga to come out here and get some rides in. So it should be in for a good one. And we're looking for a showdown right now. Nisos versus maybe Journalism in the Pacific Classic.
Yeah, I'm actually getting a little call. We've got a special guest. It's actually not Mikey P, but let's bring him on. It's Howard K. Howard Kravitz, host of Picks and Ponies on the HHH Racing Podcast. Howard, how are we doing?
I know Ryan's all big time now. He's on the Del Mar feed and blah, blah, blah. And now he's starting to – Noah and Jackson, he's just starting to pull you off, man. That is what a big time move by Mr. Anderson today. It's he's already forgotten his roots. It's really disappointing. It's only taken about a week for that to happen, Noah. It's really a shame.
Guys, I was on the infield about 10 minutes ago. I don't know how I could have done PHP from the infield. I could have tried though. So maybe I'll try harder next time. I'm
just kidding. Good job. Good job, Ryan. Nice job at the simulcast, man. Keep it up. We're all very happy for your success. It's awesome to see. I just want to come on and talk about these 2 stake races. So I'll let you guys continue. And I'm a huge fan of this late pick 5, by the way, in Saturday. Huge fan. I think this is a fantastic sequence.
Yeah, well, let's get into it. I know us 3 are not getting any creative. We've got Nisos on top, so I'll throw it right back to you. You think he's beatable on Saturday?
Was that for me?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. Probably not. But you know what's interesting, guys? Of course, the Bafferts draw next to each other, right? Because that's what they always do. Mm-hmm. What's the plan here? Or doesn't it matter? I mean, it matters to me. Miramati has only one way, unless Bob decides to tell Flavien to go. I just think the pace scenario is interesting here. I'm sure Nisos can do either, but it's not like he's exactly proven at the distance. He's never been the distance. So I don't know. What do you guys think is going to happen with the pace scenario here?
You 2 at the bottom. You want to answer that first?
Miramati goes with whoever else. Nisos is just going to sit. Nisos can rate. Nisos can manage his speed. He hasn't gotten the speed in the sprint races. He's passed horses perfectly fine. I don't think it's going to be an issue. This horse looks to have all the talent in the world, and he's finally kind of staying healthy at the right time.
I know a lot of the talk we've had recently is, when you're a jock and you've got the best horse in the race, just make sure you get him out in the clear and stuff. Jackson, do you see Meagher just kind of clearing off and Pratt just kind of keeping wide around the first turn, or what?
Wouldn't surprise me. Oh, if Meagher went to the lead? Sorry, I thought you meant if Meagher went like 4 wide in the first turn and then just left the rail for
well, that too. I mean,
that's what's going to happen at the second turn is Meagher's going to be 3 wide. He'll float out whoever else, Midnight Mammoth among others. And then, Nysos just right up the rail, hands and heels, call it a day.
I don't know if it matters. Look, Nysos has only been a lead in his last race. All his other 6 races, he came from out of it. I mean, he was 4 horse field, he was last. 7 horse field, he was 4th. In the Churchill Downs race, he was way out of it. I mean, he can come from off the pace if he needs to. That's not a really concern I have.
Yep.
Would it surprise you guys to know that Hall of Fame is just as fast as Nysos, except for 1 race?
No,
according to the time form, Hall of Fame's got time form numbers of 127, 128, 120, 118 in his last bunch of starts. Nysos is 126, 119, 123, going shorter. I'll just say this, guys, and I'll let smarter people like you guys talk. This is a very, very interesting trainer change for number 5 Hall of Fame to McCarthy. I don't know what's behind it. I don't know the story. I've always thought this horse is really good. And I don't think Hall of Fame ran great last time. I'll give you that. But before that, he lost to Touch Upon a Star, who's a complete freakazoid when he gets the lead, and fierceness. So if anyone thinks the Hall of Fame can't compete with Nysos, I think that's a little bit of West Coast bias. I could be completely wrong. I am fascinated with Hall of Fame on Saturday, and I'm going to play a very big 2-5 exact on a little bit saver the other way around. I don't know if you guys just think the 5 is no good or what you think, but I'd love to know if Kamura's been on this horse in the morning. I don't know that. But, guys, Hall of Fame is a very good horse.
He is, and I know Jackson, I think, was the one to first bring our attention to it. Just kind of saw in the lines of some recent workouts of McCarthy horses. So I don't know. Maybe Jackson, you have that answer, but I don't know if Kamura's actually been on in the mornings.
I'm not sure. No, he's obviously very good with his best effort. It's just my problem with him is always been the Lasix thing. He's always been a little bit better with Lasix. Like his last 2 races haven't been that great. I know the Alex Sheba time board number came back really strong, but he was probably supposed to run a little better in that spot, given the way the pace shaped up that day. And in the Blamer stakes, he was not great in that race at all.
I agree.
But obviously, in really capable hands with McCarthy, switching it up might do some good for this horse. He's very, very talented. He just got to put it together, I think.
I also like Jackson, and guys, he's been in California for a month. It's not like he's just coming off the plane. Because we know, Ryan, you could speak to it more than everyone here probably. Delmar can be a tricky service. He's actually trained over the surface. I'm assuming he's been jogging the last week. So, look, obviously Nice is the horse to beat. People can do whatever they want. I just think this is a fascinating addition to the West Coast handicap. Horses that, frankly, need some good additions, in my opinion.
Yeah.
This to me looks like getting a run over the track for Hall of Fame into the Pacific Classic. Looks like another possible Pacific Classic starter. To me, I don't know the meaning of the trainer switch, but to be honest, I feel like he's going to be in for a bit of a rude awakening with this West Coast speed. I mean, he's been close to the lead when they've been going 24, 23. They are going to go 22 and change to the first quarter with Meagher up on the front. Hall of Fame is going to have to come from much farther out of it. And while he's run numbers that I think are fast and as fast as Nysos, I don't think we've seen the best of Nysos. I think he is finally healthy. This is the first time he's had the 3rd start of a form cycle in his short career. I think it's only his 6th career start. And so he's finally kind of putting the pieces together, and he appears to be getting better with every single start. So I don't have a single question about the distance. We've seen Baffert do this successfully. Hall of Fame, I will look forward to seeing in his next start, which I hope is the Pacific Classic, because to your point, Howard, this handicap division out on the West Coast could certainly use a couple names.
No, I think Hall of Fame is better at a shorter distance. I'm not saying he's not going to the Pacific Classic. I'm not sure this is a 1.25 mile horse at all.
And I would almost be more in your camp in terms of him kind of being a win contender and upsetter contender. The only slight reason I don't is this horse to his outside, which I frankly have no idea what to do with him, because he's always been really, really fast. I mean, he was up and on the lead in very hot paces at Santa Anita over the winter, and then they brought him at Oaklawn and then decided to take him off, and maybe he hasn't been the same since, but it just kind of seems like with the layoff and Maldonado getting back on, I feel like they got to show at least some speed and maybe to kind of ruffle the feathers of the 5. Don't you think, Howard?
I don't know what I don't think Tarantino is very good.
No.
Anymore. I think when he won, it's been against much lower class. I mean, if Miramati, Tarantino's gonna be done at the half mile pole. So I mean, I don't think much of him at all. But I think Hall of Fame will come further off it. I agree with you, Jackson. And maybe that's the plan all along with this horse. I mean, he's never been involved in fast paces. Maybe he's better closing from deeper. So I don't know. It's gonna be interesting to see what happens.
Yeah, we've got 2 more horses to touch on. I know Glatt's got one in the Bing Crosby. He's got another here in the San Diego with Judge Miller. Ran at Churchill last time, Ryan. It was a little bit disappointing, but can come back and fire fresh for sure.
Yeah, look, this is Glatt bringing a horse out here. I get it. That last race leaves a whole lot to be desired, but he likes to be a little bit closer to the pace, and those 1-turn mile configurations can be a bit tricky at Churchill, and drew to the inside that day, so I'm willing to give a couple of excuses there. Obviously, I think Hall of Fame is the second best horse. I know there's some love for Midnight Mammoth in here, who I have 4th. And it was a close 4th, but I'm going to try and, get Fraser, who's currently the leading rider out here in Del Mar, and Mark Glatt, who fires with just about everything he throws out. It's rare to find him with a bad stat. 3rd start off the bench for Judge Miller. I'll give this one a shot. I mean, has a couple good races to get back to that could certainly get him, a nice second, maybe, or second or a 3rd.
Yeah, and this is the last horse that we'll touch on, Jackson. You and I both have him in the mix. You've actually got him in second, so maybe you're playing a 2-1. I've always kind of felt like Midnight Mammoth, maybe distance was his friend, but he was really good going a mile and 16th 2-back, and boy, was he good last time. I mean, he was almost a legit upsetter for Skippy Longstocking last time. I mean, if he fires back with one of those 97s, I guess he could get a piece of it.
Yeah, and the thing with him is he doesn't necessarily need the lead. He can sit a length off if you need him to, if he can sit just outside if you need him to. So he's not like pace dependent. He should get a good trip no matter what, as long as he comes out running. I do agree with you, though. I do think if this was a mile and 1/8, mile and a quarter, I'd like him a lot more underneath. But I will try a little 2-1 in here. I just think he's interesting. I think he's going to be forgotten about with these connections, and maybe try to split up. I agree with you guys. I think 5 is the main threat, but I'd try to split those up in like a trifecta or something. Squeeze them in there.
If this race is going a mile and a quarter, you know who I'd pick in second or 3rd. It's the Old Man Express Train, but we're going too short for him today, so no love for him.
Yeah, I know Howard's got some love for him. Maybe not today, but a couple years ago for sure.
He actually ran okay just last time, but it was just too far. I'll tell you what, if you guys are right about Miramati floating out everyone else, doesn't Midnight Mammoth just clunk up for second?
Could.
He could. He's done it before. He likes Del Mar.
That'd be the only other horse I would even consider using to beat Nisos. But this race definitely feels preppy for Midnight Mammoth, because I think he definitely is going to the Pacific Classic. I don't know what the plan with Hall of Fame. It's very interesting to see what they do.
Definitely going to be interesting to see. We'll move on to the next race. I'm going 2-5-1. Jackson's going 2-1-5, and Ryan's going 2-7-5. Let me get the next race up on the screen. It is the Daisy Cutter Handicap, race 9 on the card. $100,000 purse. We've got fillies and mares going a quick 5 furlongs on the turf, and we've got a field of 10. Morning line favorite goes all the way to the outside, and Pushiness, the Calbred for Juan Hernandez and Michael McCarthy. Second choice, the Aussie bred, Uncorked for Pratt and D'Amato at 3-1. Let's get our picks up on the screen. I'm going 7-2-4. Jackson's going 2-7-9, and Ryan is going 2-6-3. So those two boys are going with the 2s. Let's go back to you, Ryan, with the 2. I'm about to go an Irish bred, Mirko De Muro, Leonard Powell, a very, very fast filly at 6-1 on the line.
Yeah, this horse fires fresh, and this horse has a run over this 5 furlong surface. I don't know that we're going to get 6-1, but I do like that Mirko De Muro is going to be on to ride. I think he's given some really good rides so far to start his Del Mar racing career out here, obviously coming in from overseas. But yeah, I feel like I'm about to go. Could be sitting on a big one. I want to watch some more of the works and everything as he comes into this one since the December layoff. But he looks as one that fires fresh, and I think the 5 furlong distance is really what he likes to do. I think 5.5 is maybe stretching him a bit far, but you can see that Fairgrounds effort again. That came when he was fresh. No Lasix here, so maybe that's a bit of a cause for pause. But I think he can. I think he can still kind of overcome that versus this field that again, it's kind of lacking speed. I think that this one can certainly get off to an early lead and take them all the way.
Jackson, I know you've got her on top as well. I'll just simply ask you one question. Do you think she can sit if need be?
No, I don't. The 2 races she didn't make the front, she was awful. And maybe you can say it was the Lasix thing, but maybe it was the no lead thing because she ran okay in the debut when she did make the front. And every race she's made the front, she's won. And the 2 races she even had a little bit of pressure where she didn't have her head in front, she was terrible. So they just go. There's no speed in here. The 10 is very fast. That's it. There's no other speed horse. Everyone else is 40 points slower. 40 points. That's not an exaggeration. Everyone else is very, very slow. Send to their front. Open up. See what you got.
And I'll tell you what, pushiness, I guess a deserving favorite. Obviously, the connections, you get Juan Hernandez and everything, but I 5 furlongs compared to the 6 furlong sprints that this one's coming out of, that is a big difference. She's made the lead before going the 5 furlongs, but I think naturally, I think the 2 is quicker. The 2 gets a better draw. And Jackson, I'm sure you would agree with this. Juan Hernandez is not the most aggressive jockey to hustle for the early lead. He will let some others go, and he'll let he'll be content to sit sometimes.
I hope he lets her go. I don't need this horse. She's had 3 straight easy leads at odds on, and she's lost every single start. Now she's on post 10. Yeah. I'm sick of her. I don't need her. Yeah. Let her
Howard, where's your head at? Are you trusting one of these 2 speedballs, or are you looking for someone coming from out of it?
It's so weird that in one of the bigger sprint races for the girls all meet that there's almost no speed in this race. I mean, it's crazy. I don't love pushing this. I don't think she classes up. You see her on the screen there. But, I mean, like Jackson said, if she breaks, she's going to cross over relatively easily. JJ's not stupid. He's not just going to, be passive. So this horse is going. The 2 is quick, but, I mean, there's a long layoff there. What if the 2 doesn't break perfectly from the inside? If this 10 clears somehow, I think she's dangerous. I hate the 5-2 morning line. I wouldn't touch her or anything, at 4. She needs to be 4-1 or higher, but I went with the 2 speeds. I went 2, 10, 6. I would have been very interested in the 6 until I saw the morning line. And the morning lines at Del Mar have been, how shall we say, interesting. Why the 6 is 3-1 morning line, I have no idea. I guess because you see a lot of grade 2, grade 3. Go ahead, Ryan. I like her though, but not a 3-1.
Yeah, a couple quick things. One, the point on the 10, I'm almost curious if they try and rate her because she's never really been rated before, and clearly this go to the lead thing hasn't worked out great. Maybe the cut back of a furlong.
How can she rate from the outside going 5 furlongs, Ryan? She's got no choice.
Well, she can sit. She can sit in second, go 2 wide. We've seen that move work before. It worked today.
Not for her,
but
though.
Well, no, but I don't think she's ever really tried it. Her only way that she's gone is to the front. So I'm just curious because, to Jackson's point, she's made the lead clear and relatively easy in her last couple on turf, and she's lost both of those at odds on or as the favorite. But honestly, your point on the 6, I get the morning line thing, but I think 3-1 is pretty accurate in this case. I mean, D'Amato and Pratt are going to take money regardless of whether or not this is a 5 furlong turf sprinter. I like the 6.5 going down. Not a whole lot of pace in there. Finished second by the 5 lengths. Cuts back here, a couple good runs at Del Mar, given those were going longer. I'm interested to see what price she's at, but I do think Pratt's going to have this one in that second flight of horses, maybe right behind the 2 and 10, and if they hook up, I think this is a very logical underneath candidate.
I agree, and Uncorked lost to a horse that I know you liked last weekend, Lunar Impact, who totally freaked in that race. So I agree, and Uncorked was up relatively close in the Royal Heroine and was right there, way past the 5 furlong mark. So I think the 6 is actually quicker, or can be quicker than people give her credit for. Again, Pratt is not flying across the country to have this 6 sit and last and make some big run and win a 5 furlong turf sprint. So I just want to.
He's flying out here for Nisos.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I understand, but I mean, he's got other mounts too. I want to mention the 7. I'll let Jackson talk about it. Boy, do I wish the 7 had a run in her before this layoff, because she'd be my top choice if it weren't for the long layoff, because I think she's one of the better pure, sprinters in this race, but just the layoff concerns me.
I want to let Noah take it, actually. It's his top pick. Go ahead, Noah.
It is, and I'm with you, Howard. I would really like her a lot if she had a run in her, but isn't the 10 going to maybe set things up for the 7? I know she's not necessarily in the race, but they're both McCarthy. I mean, McCarthy's not going to have the 10 sit. Good if point. The 7's going to come from off the pace. So, And the fact is, Rispoli's been on the 10, 8-10 times in her career, and Rispoli decides to go to this horse who A, doesn't have a run into her, and B, she's been off for a long time. I mean, just cross out the San Clemente completely. Her turf sprints are really good. I mean, she was over her head in the Intercontinental, but at Santa Anita going 6, she was really good and ran some nice races. I mean, if she goes back to that, I don't think she necessarily really has to improve all that much. If she does, I think she's a major player in here. Jackson, what do you think?
Yeah, I agree with everything you said. I'm not concerned about the layoff. McCarthy's good off the layoff. She's been working since late April. I think she's probably as fit as they can possibly get her at this point. She should be ready to go. She should get a good trip. I am a little worried. The one race at Del Mar was really bad. I know it came about going a mile, but she got a good trip in there, and she was terrible. I mean, I guess something might have gone wrong. Maybe obviously she wasn't seen again for almost a year after that. So maybe that's just looking into it too much. But she's supposed to get a good trip. If the 2 and 10 hook up like it looks like they could, she's going to be the one that drops right behind those two and have first run on everyone else. So I agree. 2-7 for me.
And Ryan, you've got the 3 in the mix, loving on the run for our boy Dougie Fresh, who won really nicely at Los Al, but obviously has some turf numbers that can maybe compete in here, at least on the underneath side of things. Freysu hops on again. What'd you like about this 5-year-old?
Yeah, this is excuse me. This is one that I think is just has a chance to round out the tries. Freysu's been getting all of his horses in really good position. He's been moving them up on this turf course since the meet started, and drawing inside post 1, 2, and 3. We've seen how good that can be. Win this 5 furlong turf sprint at Del Mar. So I know Freysu's going to have this one kind of just tracking. Going to need some pace up front. Going to need to step up big on the numbers. But if one of those top dogs don't show up in here, I think Love It on the Run can certainly round out the tries and supers in this field.
Yeah, and Jackson, you've got the 9. Granny Budgie, other D'Amato, Franco hops aboard. She's got some turf sprints that if she gets the right pace and the right setup, which definitely she could. I mean, if the 2 and 10 hook up like we are thinking, I mean, she's certainly got a chance, and she's going to be running late as well.
I wish there was one more speed horse in this race, and I would pick her on top. I would be a lot more confident that would fall apart for her, because if you toss the 3 down the hill races, which I know is, you got to cover the 3 down the hill races, and let's just look at the flat races. She won both of those races from way out of it. She wants to do this. This is what she wants to do. She was going to come with her late run. She beat Pushness 2 back. I mean, she's very, very good on her best day. I'm just not sure she's going to get the pace she needs, especially going the flat 5. I think those 2 speed horses probably have a big head start on her.
Yeah, and Howard, I'll let you have the little last laugh here to comment on any of the underneath types that maybe we've talked about in here.
I just want to ask Ryan if the 3, who's riding is that? That's Freysu. Ryan, can I ask you a question? Is Freysu going to have a rocket booster attached to his hip as he rides?
I mean, he's been moving horses up. That guy is feeling himself right now. I've talked to him every day of the meet so far. He's a great guy. I'll just check in with him. I'm going to interview him tomorrow about Dr. Venkman coming up in the Bing Crosby. But hey, he's all smiles. He's all happy. He's feeling himself. And when a jockey's confident, that's what you like to see. So, I'll take Love It on the Run. We know these mares can step up in big spots. And Doug O'Neill, obviously friend of the program. So, I'll show him a little love to Love It on the Run.
What did you text us on Sunday? You're like, hang on, guys, give me 1 minute. I got to go talk to my boy Antonio real quick. Just give me a minute.
Yeah, he's awesome. I'll invite him on the show sometime. I'll invite him on the show sometime, man. He's great. He's great.
Let's move on to the next race. I'm going 7-2-4. Jackson's going 2-7-9, and Ryan's going 2-6-3. Next race that we're going to be talking about is the feature on the Saturday card. It is the Bing Crosby Stakes. It is up on the screen right now. Of course, it's a grade 1, 6:32 local time, $400,000 purse, and going 6 furlongs on the main track. The morning line favorite in this race is the Kentucky Invader. It is the 5 world record. Flavien Prat and Rudy Brisset at 3-1. Second choice is the Speedy Hijazi. Number 3, Juan Hernandez and Bob Baffert. And the third choice is the Doctor, the number 2, Dr. Venkman for Freysu and Glatt. Let's see who we are going with in this grade 1 affair. I'm going 5-6-2. Jackson's going 2-1-6. And Ryan is going 6-9-4. I know we've got our picks on the screen. I'll throw it to the boss to talk about this race first. Who is your top pick in this year's Bing Crosby?
I mean, pretty clearly, the only intelligent person on this screen other than myself is Jackson. I mean, clearly.
Whoa.
No. Let me ask you guys a question. Serious question. Try to take off your West Coast bias hats, okay? We just finished the show. We just finished. Oh, that's right. There's no bias. My bad. We just finished the show. We just finished the show for the Saratoga Pick 5, and I presented this question to Paul Halloran, and him and I disagree. Which do you think is seen as the bigger race throughout the country on Saturday? The Grade 1 Bing Crosby or the Grade 2 Jim Dandy? What do you think the public would view as the bigger race of the day? Or what should be the bigger race of the day?
Bing Crosby is the Grade 1.
Yeah, I think a lot of it. I think a lot of it depends on it's like year by year. Like I think right now there's more hype on the Jim Dandy because you have Sovereignty and you have Baeza.
This year, let's not go back 20 years. This year on Saturday, what's the bigger race?
Well, people are looking forward to the Jim Dandy because you have Sovereignty. So people like Noah who love the chalk are chomping at the bit to bite Sovereignty at 1 to 9. But Bing Crosby's a Grade 1. So I think the prestige is out here on the West Coast, but the hype is on the East Coast and the Jim Dandy. Like
fence rider, Jesus. No, just give me an answer. No, we're just for fun here. We're just having a conversation.
I'm gonna say because of recency bias and 3-year-olds get talked about a lot more than sprinters do. I would say the Jim Dandy is a bigger race in terms of people that will be actually watching the race.
So you might be surprised by this. So Paul thought the Jim Dandy because it's got the Belmont.
I'm not surprised by that.
Derby winner.
Yeah, I'm not surprised by that at all.
I said it's no doubt the Bing Crosby. It's a Grade 1. Now, we can have arguments of what should be a Grade 1 and what should be a Grade 2. But this is, to me, guys, this is by far the best 6-furlong dirt race in this continent this year. Like, by far. The Churchill Downs race, guys, was 7 furlongs. That was a great race.
Oh,
this is a serious race, and I'm really looking forward to it. And also the Jim Dandy's a 5-horse field. Now, it's 5 good horses. And it's, of course, Sovereignty, who will lose to Baeza Saturday. But,
man,
I'm sorry. Did I hear
that's
something?
A take. That's a take. Go ahead.
Anyway, I think it's the Grade 1. I think it's this race, guys. This is a great race. Anyway, getting back to the original question. This horse got a ridiculous trip last time. I was there in person. Noah was on screen hosting. I know Roland Big Joe won for Noah, and that was a great pick for him that day. My only concern, guys, and I'm writing the power picks as we speak here 10 minutes ago, is that he's too far back. If he's not too far back, I think Ashley's going to enjoy the crazy fast pace here. He's going to come rolling late. And if I get 4 to 1, I'll be very happy. I think he's one of the more talented horses in this field. And I think we'll get that 4 to 1. So I'm going to trust Fraciu, but he's got to time it out right, guys, because there's like zero room for error in this race. I don't know if Jackson feels the same.
Yeah,
Jackson, it sounds like you echo those sentiments.
Yeah, I just think there's a lot of speed in here. And I'm really curious to see how you think the 5's going to win this race with all the speed in this race. But I think they got to line up. I mean, the 3's fast, the 4's can be fast, the 5, 6, 7, all those horses, even the 8, even Spirit McKenna, before they place, they're going to fly. And this horse is supposed to get the right setup. He's the best of the come from behinders. He's arguably the best horse in the race. You can make a pretty strong case that he is. He loves this track. I agree with everything Howard said about his most recent race. He probably should have won that with a little bit of a better trip. And if you're going to make him the 3rd choice in this race, I will be making a nice little size wager on him.
I like it. Ryan, you don't have him in the mix. I've got him 3rd. I do agree that his ride last time was a bit egregious when I first watched it, and then I actually watched it back, and I actually didn't think it was as bad as I remember. I still think it wasn't all that great, let's be honest. But I don't know. I didn't think it was, to necessarily write home about. And I don't necessarily love the 6 furlongs for him. I don't know what you think, Ryan, but I am a bit concerned that things will get speedy up top, and it might just be a little short for him to get there.
Yeah, it could be. By the way, I texted you 695, not 694. Smooth Cruising has no shot. No, Dr. Vegman's fine. He's certainly a win contender. I'm honestly a little concerned that 6 furlongs is too short. That's kind of my main concern. That's why I don't have him in the top 3. Jackson's spot on though. If this horse is really 4 to 1, 9 to 2, and the 3rd or 4th choice in here, I think that is the correct value you should look for on a horse like Dr. Venkman. but closing going 6 versus closing going 6.5 or 7, sometimes that speed holds on here at Del Mar, and that's kind of why I opted to play against this horse. I want a horse that's coming from just off of it. That's kind of why I like the number 6 Roll On Big Joe. I feel like while he does get forward in a lot of his races, he has some prior races to go back to where he has come from a couple lengths off of it and done so successfully. He kind of likes to have a target or two. He drew nicely to the outside. I think there's some outside speed, like Meagher, who I think definitely is going to be going to the lead first off the claim for John Sadler with Ayuso in the saddle. Spirit of McKenna is a little bit of cheap speed to kind of push the pace. But I imagine Roll On Big Joe just kind of sits second flight in those stalker types and could get first jump on a lot of these. And I know 6 furlongs. This Roll On Big Joe's had 4 seconds and only 2 wins. So maybe I'm slightly concerned that the 6 furlongs is going to be, again, a little too sharp for this runner. But at 6-1 over the 4-1, I'll take my chances there.
Jackson, I know your posing question was, how is the 5 going to win when there's all the speed in here? Is there really all that much speed? I mean, isn't Pribozie going on the inside, and then isn't World Record just going to sit right off of him? And then isn't Roll On Big Joe going to sit right off of him? Isn't he going to?
The problem is World Record has 2 monster races on his page that make him the favorite in this race. They both came on the lead. Every other race where he didn't make a kind of clear lead, he's much, much slower. I mean, it's not even close. He has to go. That's the only way he wins this race.
Howard, what do you think?
I agree.
I think you guys are underestimating Bodnik here. When there's a lot of speed in a race, and I think there is, I think you laid that out correctly. No, the 3 and 5 have to go. Okay. The 6 can lay off a little bit, but with the 7 who can break from the outside of all of them, if the 7 breaks well and just watches, I think the 7's faster than the 6. My vision here, guys, and by the way, I'm 275 in this race. My vision here is that the 3 and 5 go like banshees or scolded cats, as our good friend Davey Lane would like to say. And the 7 actually is the one that sits a nice trip outside of the 6 and gets first run on everyone. I mean, he beat Hijazi last time, and I thought he beat him on the square. And I think Hijazi is pretty good. I know he's been disappointing, but I think Bodnik here is the price you want if you're going to go with a price. And I think Venkman's going to come over the top of all of them. So I do think World Record's better than Jackson. I agree with Noah that World Record might be better here than some other people think. But I think the 7 is the price of this race, but I still think Dr. Venkman will win. That's my general opinion.
Speaking of price, I want to throw it to Ryan because I know this is a horse that he's been a big fan of. I know he liked him. Was that in the San Simeon when he almost upset at 30-1?
Yeah.
I tell you what, he's got some decent races on the dirt. I mean, you see at the top right of the screen, he's 5 for 17 on the dirt lifetime. You know, maybe those races aren't necessarily up to the standards of some of these. I mean, they've been running high 90s, low hundreds, but if things go his way, I mean, I don't think he's impossible to hit the board.
No, not at all. And you know what they say? It pays to be a Calbred. So, no, I want Lovesick Blues. Again, bit of a price to round things out here. Kind of that underneath play, but certainly in a good vein of form right now. Liberato Barocchio is, you know, he's had this horse placed correctly, excuse me. Part of me thinks he's in this race because he has some prior dirt form and they don't run 6 or 6.5 over the Del Mar turf course. And I think he knows that 5 furlongs is way too sharp for this horse. So I think that's kind of why he ends up in here, needs to get a couple runs. That being said, he's handled the dirt fine. I get it. He's faced lesser competition, but he's run well. His 93 buyer came going 2 turns against state breds. I look back to that 6 furlong effort where he was able to close behind Mana Rose, who's in a great vein of form at the time. So we know he runs fine off Lasix. We know he handles the dirt, but most importantly, he drew well. He's going to sit outside. He should be clear. And if they really do heat things up, and if Roll On Big Joe and Meagher and World Record, Hijazi, if they fly up front, I think this one can absolutely pick up some pieces late.
And Jackson, you're looking for this horse to really pick up the pieces if they do indeed fly up top. And that's the one Crazy Mason, 6-1 on the line, won the Carter from way out of it. And how about that race? How about the race that he's coming out of, the True North? He had Bookham Danny who came back and ran a 111. And then there was another horse, Concrete Glory, and came back and freaked at Saratoga a couple weeks ago. Live race for sure, and hoping things fall apart.
Yeah, I'm clearly hoping for a fast pace in here. If there's not a fast pace, I'm going to lose this race. It's quite that simple. I think it's really interesting. Like everything you said, he's done nothing but improve for, a year now? I mean, he's getting faster and faster and faster and faster each and every start. the True North, they didn't even go that fast up front. I know he was 10 lengths out of it. He might be 15, 20 lengths out of this race early on. That's the problem. He's going to be so far back. But he's been overcoming some slower paces to win. And it's, sometimes when these races get shorter and shorter, they go even faster up front and they really fall apart late. And he's the one that I trust the most. Like, if I'm playing any kind of exacta trifectas, like I'm putting him in. Because he's going to come running late and he's going to be picking up the pieces. And like you said, he just ran third to Mulligan and Bocamdano. Those are the best sprinters in the country right now. I mean, he's good. He's really good. He's improving. I think he's really, really interesting.
Jackson, I will say I like that you stuck with Crazy Mason here. I saw this runner in the field and I was like, man, I hope Jackson takes him. You've been on this horse for a while, and honestly, that 3-back effort is what I look to. That was impressive. I mean, you go 47 to the half. I get it's the winner at Aqueduct, but that is, I mean, we could run backwards and go faster than that. So the fact that he was able to close into that, regardless of how good that field was, that shows his potential. And you pointed out he's only gotten better from there.
Yeah. Well, and Toxic Gray came back to win out of that race too. I mean,
yeah,
really, really interesting.
Same with Spun and One. Yeah, he's beaten some good opponents for sure.
Well, two things. I think it's really cool that Christopher Elliott's getting a shot to run in this race. I mean, what an opportunity for him. I just want to say, guys, the race 3-back. Yeah, it was that was not. I understand he came from way back and was a slow pace. The Carter was one of the worst Carters I've ever seen. I know he closed well and it looks good on paper, but Quince Brew he's beating versus these horses. I mean, the race that's fair to talk about is the last race. If you want to talk about why you should be impressed with this horse, I mean, like you guys said. So I wouldn't look at 2 and 3 back to point to why this horse has a shot. It would be really cool if this horse wins, Jackson. I don't. It's gonna be a fast pace, but for some bizarre reason, you guys have seen this a zillion times. They all see like 4 or 5 speed horses. I can see a Jazzy going the lead and like world record like sitting a little. When I say sitting off, I mean not going like balls out head to head. This race would have to completely melt down for this one to win this race. I guess it's not impossible, but every time we think this, guys, it doesn't happen. So I mean, maybe that's the East Coast guy in me from New York.
Yeah, that's the New York turf racing in you, Howard. They go fast out here.
Well, he's gonna have to get off the
They
rail,
go fast.
right, Jackson? You said outside's better, so he's gonna have to swing outside late and come over the top in like the 7 path. Is that what you figure?
It depends. I mean, the track team fared last few days. It was really just opening day was bad. So he's going to be so far back. I don't think it's going to matter.
Also to the point, he's going to be on the rail as they go and then swing out the top of the stretch and just hope you have the run. I mean, that's pretty much the key. Is I don't think the inside's bad by any means. I think the outside move, as usual with Delmar, is maybe slightly the better place to be. But we've seen some horses fight back along the way.
He's got a bullet work best on 98. I have to get the report, but maybe they're trying to get a little bit into him. Maybe. I don't know. That'd be a good idea.
Little Soul of an Angel 2.0.
Oh, let's not bring up that one, please.
Still waiting for Stella to win.
From way out of it.
Yeah.
Good call.
I will say he could drift up in here too. I wouldn't be surprised if he drifts up to 10, 12 to 1. Is Dr. Bankman really going to be 4 to 1 in this race? I mean, it feels like he could go favorite again. I know he's 3 to 4 to 1 morning line, but I think he could take one.
I'm actually not sure. I could see a number of horses being the favorite, but Venkman and World Record are going to be the main 2 taking money, I would think.
I feel like
guys, I wouldn't be shocked if Hijazi's the favorite, and that'd be one of the worst favorites of all time. It's Zidane and Hernandez and Baffert and
The worst favorite of all time was Geopolitics today.
Geopolitics.
Yes.
Well,
yes.
That was the worst favorite I've ever seen.
That was horrific.
And then she didn't break.
It's too bad she didn't.
So you knew the horse was going to go to his knees and his nose, right? Is that
no, that's what made me mad. Like,
even if she didn't,
and they just proved nothing because she didn't break. I couldn't say,
exactly.
Yeah, I was right. Like, no, she didn't break. I couldn't say anything.
And then
Jackson,
right, Ryan?
we can be excited about that because the next time Geopolitics runs at Saratoga, she'll be the favorite again off of that bad break, and we bet against her again. Yeah, you were wrong about Splendora, though. I mean, my goodness, that horse won for fun.
Okay, do you want me to buy you a drink for picking a 2 to 5 shot? I will.
No, but I want enough to buy a drink.
Well, we'll move on to the last race of the late pick 5. Howard, are you sticking with us for the finale?
I'll just make one comment because people don't want to hear from me anymore. Probably. This is one of my spot plays, the last race, which is a complete cluster F. I love a horse in the spot. I really like the 11.
Please don't be the horse I like.
I really like the 11, and I'd absolutely But for Noah's boy, Ayuso, I have no idea what you guys' picks are. I'm going to leave the screen in 10 seconds, but there's a lot of speed in this race. I don't mind the layoff line at all here for Kansas Cat. I think for Blacker, I think the 11 is absolutely fascinating here. But I'm going to leave it at that, guys. Thanks for having me on. A lot of fun. I'm definitely betting on Saturday, and I look forward to watching the races. Thanks, guys. Take care.
Thanks,
Good
Howard.
luck.
Appreciate you coming on.
Have a good one.
Howard Kravitz, ladies and gentlemen, likes the 10 Kansas Cat, the Argentinian bred, in the
11.
finale. And we're going to throw up our picks to talk about this finale. And speaking of the finale, it's an allowance optional claim of 40,000, mile on the turf. Again, rails are at 18 feet. I think I already mentioned that at the beginning of the show. And the picks are up on the screen. Now, all three of us have a slight interest in this horse whatsoever. I'm going to 1-2-11. Jackson's going 8-11-2, and Ryan is going 1-11-2. Ryan, I tell you what, I wish we had Mikey on because I know he's a big fan of this horse too, and you like this horse as well. So that makes me feel a little more confident about this pick. But we're gonna start it with Jackson because he's got an even bigger price. He's got the longest shot on the board in the 8 Big Bet Joff and Safa, Calbred for his boy Kimura and Carla Gaines. Will this be a big bet indeed, Joff and Safa?
We don't see. I'll tell you what. When the 4-horse wins the last race at Saratoga on Saturday, and then the 8-horse wins the last race at Del Mar on Saturday, I'm gonna be rich because I picked a 31 shot and 21 shot. So we're gonna blow it up. I think Howard nailed it. There's a lot of speed in this race. Even the one who you guys like overseas was pretty quick. I mean, maybe is that going to translate over here? I mean, who knows? It's a guess. But even outside of that, there's a lot of speed. The 3 is very, very fast. The 4 is fast. I'm trying to get to load because there's others that are quick. The My Race horse, I think, is the 10. No, Carver is very, very fast. Data Remember, very, very fast. I mean, all these Flyover, very, very fast. All these horses want to be 4th place. They want to be 4th place. They want the lead. I don't see any way this pace doesn't. I don't see any way this pace. They don't fly on the front end. So I wanted someone from off of it. I didn't really trust the other D'Amato horse. I wanted a price. And he's a little interesting. First time gelding. His turf races are decent. Obviously, he's a little too slow. But I think in a race like this where there is that much speed, if he's going to win, it's because it collapses anyway. So I'm not too worried about that. Be more concerned about the layoff. But he's looked good in a couple workouts I've seen in the morning. I think he's gonna be last. He's gonna be flying late. Just hoping this thing falls apart because he's interesting in this spot, and I just don't trust the other closers in this race much. So gonna take a flyer with this horse and hope for the best. We'll see.
I like it. I'm not quite with you on the pick, but I'm with you on how you got there with a lot of the speed and such. Ryan. We're going with the one Souchet, I think. Kind of like souffle, or maybe it's souchet.
Well, you were so close with the first one. I would have just stuck with that, and then you went like souffle. Oh man, you went off the rails.
Right? Am I inaccurate to say that if Hector Barrios wasn't in Saratoga and was on this horse instead back in California, that this horse would be a much lower price?
Probably 6-1.
Really?
I would think. I don't think this is one of those like monster horses like Raw Ability that came over last year. I don't think it's one of those by any means. But I think this horse has, well, he ran like one in his debut. I think this is a horse that I picked because I love what Mirko Demuro has done. I don't think that he's been bet accordingly. A lot of the betting reflects how Fresu was bet when he first came over. He would get away at much bigger prices than he should be. Demiro's given some excellent rides in his turf routes to start at Del Mar. Hasn't quite found the winner's circle, but he was drawn outside for a lot of those. He's drawn post 12. He's drawn post 10 for a lot of his mounts that he's had and hasn't quite gotten the chance to save ground. He's going to get that chance with this horse who's going to be forward. This is one of those Euros coming in. And yes, he's been forward in a lot of those other races. I just don't know that he's been that quick. I don't think he's going to get the lead in here. I think he's going to be in that second or third flight, but most importantly, he's going to be saving ground along the rail the entire trip. And I have a big play on him. I'm going to definitely a heavy lean, definitely a win bet. Going to want to play some doubles out of the Bing Crosby into this horse. And you'll see in my best bet, this is definitely going to be one of the keys to the sequence.
I'm so with you, Ryan. I like him a lot. I'm with you. One of the big angles that I like is when Euros come over and get Lasix for the first time. I think that's a big angle for sure. One I think his races overseas are good. I mean, the second over the Firm, I think is good enough to win in here. And, we talk about, how the time forms try to translate, coming over. He's got 2 103s in October and November in the fall of last year. And we don't really know from that, but I think it's safe to assume that he's maybe progressed from 3 to 4. Would that be a safe bet?
Yeah, maybe. But last note I wanted to point out was I know there's only 3 published works, but this horse has clearly been over here and been, being trained for a little while. But comes over. Thank you. I don't know I don't know why you're showing that.
That's the work with certitude, right?
With certitude,
yeah.
Good.
But yeah, exactly. But a couple things. One, first published work at Santa Anita was just about 3 weeks ago on July 7th, but it was a really fast 4 furlong drill. Sadler's not really the type to work his horses super fast in the mornings or to make them do something they're not comfortable with. So I think this horse has some natural speed and some natural ability. Then 2 very easy 5 furlong drills, and that most recent came over the Delmar turf course, which it's pretty hard to get a workout over the Delmar grass because they like to preserve it. Obviously, you see the D signifying that the dogs, those cones were out. But 5 furlongs in 102, that's a nice, easy drill. Coming into here, it's all systems go for me. I hope DeMiro gives one of those great rides we've seen him do from the outside post. Now he gets to draw the rail.
I'm so with you. And the special guest that we were going to have on the show, I won't sugarcoat it. I know he was a fan of this horse too. And actually, I'm getting another call that we've got somebody in the green room.
Good Lord.
And here he is to talk about him. Mikey B.
Mikey P.
What's going on? How's work treating you?
It was a horrible day, and I feel terrible. I'm sorry, really, guys, that I didn't make it on time by any means. And so I hope you invite me back. And I don't know. I'm sorry.
You made it. Give us the case, man. Come on.
We made it. We made it.
The one? Okay. I do like this horse. I mean, one thing that I like to see with horses like this that are coming over, this horse showed a lot of speed over at Chantilly and on heavy surfaces. Also, when horses show speed over there, I do think sometimes that can translate over here. You're getting Lasix. I don't think that this field is that tough. That I think he can jump into this race and can make some noise here. It's just going to depend on the ride. He's got to be put into the race, but he's got numbers. He's getting Lasix. I do think he's faced some big fields. There's a lot to like about this horse, and sometimes, especially these shippers, can show up on these Delmar turf races and really, show us something. This horse, I think, is a good bet, but I don't know about 8 to 1. I think that it's probably going to end up lower, especially if it's live.
Mikey, do you think we'll get 8 to 1 in the horizontals? Maybe not, when the race opens, but do you think we can get close to that in the horizontal bets?
I mean, it's possible. I mean, is the 2 really going to take money in there? I know this horse is 3 to 1 morning line, but I'm not sure that I want that one here. I mean, I know it's east coming west, but I mean, a little iffy. What other horses? The 6 is going to be bet pretty hard in here, right? 2 straight wins.
Yeah.
Sure.
Looks probably. I think that's where all the money is going to go to that horse. So
yeah.
I do think that one, and then the 9 coming off a nice, maiden special weight win back in May. I think there's money that's going to find that one. But if this horse is live, I do think that he's probably third choice in multis.
Yeah, and
this 8 to 1 on the board. It's a giant red flag. I mean, if he's live, he's going to take money.
I want to see 7 to 2 when this betting window opens for sure, because that's kind of that live money, area.
Although during different times in the meet, some of these wagers have come in very late on these horses. I mean, that happened over the weekend too, that they'd be hanging out 7, 8, 9, 10 to 1, and then the gate opens and they're 7 to 2. So I don't know. I mean, can you gauge early money here? I don't know.
Well, I'm very aware of that. The last thing I just wanted to say was we've had the 1 on the screen for about 10 minutes now. I really hope that horse runs well. Otherwise,
we are going to look a little foolish.
Waste of time. We talked a little bit about the 6 who was fast. I know Jackson talked about how there is a decent amount of speed. I think the 9 is going to show some speed, not let the 6 get away. Jackson, I'm going to throw it to you. Howard was on here a couple minutes ago talking about how he liked the 11. What do you like about this 11?
I mean, he's gonna be coming from off the pace, right? You would think in a race like this, and I don't play Tampa very often. I actually bet him 2 back when he was 57-1, and he actually ran really well in that race. I thought he was going to win at one point. Close into the hot pace, maybe moved a little too early. And same with the last race. Like maybe moved a tad too early. I don't know if it would have made the difference. I don't know if he would have won or even been second, but he might have been a little bit closer. Now he found himself out west with Dan Blacker, who's just a high percentage trainer, does making all the right moves the last really year or two. Done nothing wrong, and he's supposed to get a setup in here. He's coming from off of it. I don't think the outside post is going to be too much of a concern because they're going to go so fast in front of him, they'll just drop over. And we'll see what he's got. He's got numbers that fit. Is he really going to be 12-1? We'll see. I feel like I agree with Mikey. I feel like the 2 being that low in the morning line, like everyone's going to get off the 2 and hop on this horse instead. When there might not be too much separating those 2, so maybe he'll take some money. But he's definitely interesting. I'm curious to see how he runs.
Yeah, and we've got the 2 in the mix. Ryan, first time gelding for Sam Walensky. He actually does not qualify. I repeat, he does not qualify for the Ship and Win program because he ran here at Del Mar on August 10th of last year, which I guess could be a concern in some ways, but he probably fits at the level JJ's on. I know that means, Jackson's not going to use him because he's the flow of the West Coast, but
Mike, you missed it. JJ ran me down the first race of the day at Del Mar. I was so mad. I turned it off after that.
Oh, wow.
Does this guy rant about him missing bets with JJ as much to you as he does to us?
Well, over the weekend, there was a few suspect rides, and I think him and I were both cursing his name in a couple of those spots. I mean, I don't know. I don't. He's not the jockey kryptonite to me that he is the Jackson. I don't think, but over the past weekend, I understand it.
He's fine. He's good. He just never wins for me. I don't know what it is. Anyway,
Jackson had a pretty good nickname for him for a good little comparison. We don't need to repeat it. I'm just saying that was pretty spot on.
It was. We'll go ahead and move on to best bets. But before we do that, I know, Mikey, we didn't get a chance to hear from you, but I want to get anything that you want to say, maybe like a special or what am I looking? Best bet. One of the first 4 races that we talked about, because I know you didn't get to talk about that, or just anyone that you like in some of the other stakes.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to see what World Record does. It's interesting to show up out here with this horse. In that race at Churchill back in May, he galloped in that race, and then he came off Lasix, and I thought he raced pretty well there in the air studies. He gutted that race out. I just think he's getting better, and the fact that Pratt's out here to ride him, he's interesting to me. I'm not sure if you guys like this horse or not, but I do think that he is going to be tough in this race. The fact that they're here. I'm just curious to see what the Baffert horse does, Hijazi. I mean, he's the wild card in the race to me. I mean, he got his prep June 13th. And now, I mean, they paid $3.5 million for this one. If he is going to show that promise, this could be the time. He's a second-time 5-year-old. We'll see what happens with him. But I'd be more interested, I think, in World Record. He'd probably be the one that I would want to get involved with. And then, the fact that Crazy Mason shows up in here, I think he could be an interesting sort of exacta type partner. He's just going to, I don't know, California having to come from the parking lot, not the greatest recipe, but I mean, he makes his run every time, and he faced Bookham, Dano, and Mulligan last time. Neither one of those two are in this race. So,
no.
And, I like Chris Elliott. I think that he's a fantastic rider. I know he's a journeyman now, but he's the fact that they show up with him, I think he's a player also. So we'll see what happens. But I do like that race, and I like those 2 horses.
Yeah, and Mikey, I was the only one on the screen who even remotely liked World Record. So
really?
You're invited back. You're invited back anytime. You can.
I had him third.
These 2 whenever you want.
Jackson, you don't like him at all?
Let me pose the question. I asked Noah, how does he win that race? Because he's got one way to go, and it's to the front. He's got 2 races that jump off the page. They're both when he makes a lead. He's got 2 speed horses at the inside of him, and he's got 3 to his outside. He's got one way to go.
Mikey, I don't see why he can't just sit off right Hijazi.
He's tried before. He hasn't done it well.
But he went 20 and 43 last time, and he just got beat. I know that race came up slow, but I mean, do you think that was a better race than this race? Because who are you afraid of in here? Exactly.
And Skelly's still running. I mean, he hung around, Mikey.
3, all the inside horses I think are better. And the 6 is supposed to get a better trip than him too.
The 1's a wild card. I do think he can win. I have no problem with him. The 2 is just okay for me. And he couldn't beat Roll on Big Joe last time. I just feel like that those were inferior horses in that race. So I don't know. I mean, I don't know.
We could probably talk about the race. We could probably talk about the race for another 20 minutes, but we've got families to feed. So I'll go to best bets. Ryan, you're going with a straight pick 4, starting like race 17. 8. You're going 2 with 2 6 with 6 with 1. You know what?
He's the one getting fed.
I didn't even give you the time of day to put that was $1 for 50 cents because why would I when you're 1 by 2 by 1 by 1? So go ahead and take it through. Take it.
Yeah, I'm gonna play this a bunch of times. Yeah, Nisos is the first leg. We can go ahead and move on from there. I'll go 2-6 in the next 2. I'm about to go. We talked about this one. Gonna go to the lead. That's where all of his best races have come from. If not, I am going to take a shot with the 6 uncorked. I think this one can come from off the pace. And if they do heat things up front with a 10 pushiness, go into the lead, I think that would be a pretty successful outcome for uncorked. I know Pratt's going to have that one in the right spot. Next leg, I'm going to go with the 6. That's Roll On Big Joe, who I think is just in a really good vein of form. I think this one can track speed. I don't think this one is a must-send by any means. So Leperoux's in town. I know that's a little interesting. But I think he can sit, and I think this one can go. Him and Bob Hess have, they clearly get along well on Roll On Big Joe as they've been together for those 2 mounts out at Churchill Downs. Goes into the next race. We just talked about this one. We don't need to talk about the 1 anymore. I forgot the name. Suchet. For Mirko DeMuro, John Sadler. I expect big things. I'm going to press this one up a few times. My pick 5 I play, I'm definitely going to spread out a little bit more, but I'll press up this pick 4 with no question, just because these are all my strongest opinions. I will say the Bing Crosby worries me probably the most. That's a very competitive race, and I can see any number of horses winning that, except for world record. But he is running for the ship and win, so I'll give him that.
That's why he's going to
win. Horses are winning everywhere, and like you don't think he has a chance. So
I don't get it, Mikey. I don't get it. Jackson's best bet, race 8. He's just making it simple. He's going double 2-2. You know, he's got a lot of 2s. I think he's got the 2 on top in the first 4 legs of the late pick 5 that we talked about. That is Nisos into I'm about to go, correct?
Yeah. Shocker, I'm betting a daily double for my best bet. I'd never, ever do that. Especially starting with a big favorite, Nisos. He's going to roll in that race. Can't wait for the showdown between him and journalism. And then rolling it right into the double in the Daisy Cutter with the 2. I'm about to go. Just think there's no speed in that race outside of her and maybe Pushiness, who may or may not go from the outside according to Ryan, which I hope she doesn't. And they leave that horse alone on the lead because she's
talk about one way to go. Ugh.
She's got one way to go. The difference is there's no speed. There's no speed in that race.
God,
there's none. So
look, if you look at Pushiness, every point of like for the first point of call, there's 1s the entire way down the page.
Yeah.
All 10 races, one.
In turf sprints, I don't care if it's a 2-horse duel. I don't care. I don't think it matters too much. If you add a 3rd horse, I think it falls apart. But just as a general rule of thumb for me, in turf sprints, if there's 2 horses dueling, I think they can survive it. So I think she'll be okay in there. We'll see if she's good enough. And again, they're just outside of those top 2. I mean, those horses, they might have a 4 or 5 length lead going into the turn, and it's not just because they're going too fast, it's just because everyone else is that slow, and they're gonna have to come catch them. I like that double quite a bit. We'll see if it works out, and hopefully it does.
I like it. Good luck. I'm actually playing a double in the same race. I'm going race 8 double Nisos into Spicy Bug, who I wouldn't like as much. Mikey's shaking his head, so I'm going to throw it to him after. But I like Spicy Bug a little bit. Maybe the one concern is she's not ready off the layoff, but like Jackson said, she's got a bunch of works in her chamber bullet or bullet chamber. And if the 10 was not McCarthy, I wouldn't like Spicy Bug as much. But Mikey, I think the 10's got to go, right? I'm hoping those 2 set it up for the 7.
The 10's definitely going 100% without any question. The reason I don't really like laid up horses, but Spicy Bug's interesting to me because this horse at least has some legitimate turf sprint lines. I mean, faced Futures Now last time. I know that was a while ago. But you know what? That was a solid race. He beat less than 4 in that race. This horse has raced well off layouts in the past. You get Rispoli here, who's familiar with the horse, and I just don't like anybody else. And the 2 is going from Wesley Ward to I think Leonard Powell's a nice trainer, but I mean the Wesley Ward sprint speed, program. We'll see. We'll see if Leonard Powell can capitalize on that. And I'm not sure if Demora, what kind of trip is he going to get in this race? I mean, you think that they're going to outfoot the 10 early? I don't think so. I think the 7's going to sit off and get the right spot. It's just a matter of, is she ready to go? And she's very interesting to me in there also. And I hate horses off layouts, but I hate this race. So I hate the 6. God, if that horse wins, forget it.
I love it. Speaking the truth for sure, Mikey. I just looked it up. We're probably going to see some of those horses in the Bing Crosby back in the Pat O'Brien Saturday, August 23rd. So I'm sure we'll do a show the Thursday, the 21st. So we'd love to have you back if you're interested.
Well, yeah, since I made it here for 8 whole minutes, and that was totally unintentional. So I did not this was no shade at all. It's just unfortunate circumstances. So I'll come back anytime you guys will have me.
I don't think we took it as shade, Mikey.
No. Loved having you for the short period of time, and would love to have you again. Let's go ahead and wrap things up for my co-host Jackson Muniz, Ryan Anderson, and our brief visitor Mike Pribozie. This has been your host Noah Meagher in episode 38 of Pacific Horse Players, talking about the Del Mar Saturday late pick 5, and of course PHP out.
Noah, dinner's